Welcome to another episode of AI Product Leader. Every week we shine a light on what it really takes to join the AI world. Real conversations with real AI builders, founders, product leaders, AI experts, technologists, and everything in between to understand where the world of AI is right now and what that path looks like, whether you're building AI products or building an AI career. Have a question or a topic? Email us at support@AI Career Boost to join the conversation. I'm your host, Polly Allen. I'm the founder of AI Career Boost, where I spend my time helping product managers and product leaders navigate the world of AI and transition and thrive in AI leadership roles. I've spent my career in both the product management and software sides of the world, of the software development world, and I'm an Alexa AI Principal Product Manager, where I successfully launched the first generative AI answers on Alexa back in 2020. I was honored to be named a Top 100 Women of the Future winner. And I'm really excited to chat with you today about AI, especially with the guest that's joining us today. I'm thrilled to introduce Patty. Patty Boland. She is a visionary leader at the forefront of AI and the automation revolution. Over her impressive career, Patty has emerged as a true pioneer in hyper automation and conversational AI. Her expertise ranges from crafting awesome chatbots to implementing robust RPA solutions, always with a laser focus on enhancing both customer and employee experiences, and is a key feature at the Vocal Council, a multinational cross-industry association of intelligent automation practitioners. Patty is shaping the future of intelligent automation across industries. Her unique blend of technical acumen and strategic insight has led her to excel in roles from senior product management through director and VP roles in automation, and she's consistently driven innovation and operational excellence. Her ability to navigate uncharted territories and deliver quick wins make her invaluable and as an asset to any organization in today's fast-paced landscape. So excited to have you today, Patty. How's it going?
I'm so excited to be here, Polly. Thank you so much for the invite.
Thanks for coming. I know I gave a little bit of your background there, but I wanted to chat. You've done so much in with AI in the automation and chatbot conversational AI space, but I wanted to hear a little more about your career before you got into AI.
Gosh, the thing that we have to okay. Before I can answer that, we have to figure out for the purpose of this conversation what we consider to be AI. If we're talking about straight chatbots, then it's really the reason that I got into technology. As a little kid, my grandfather, who was very tech forward, had a Mac, and on his Mac, he had Eliza, which was an MIT chatbot that would just basically take whatever you say and then rephrase it to ask it back to you the way that a traditional psychotherapist might. And I thought that was endlessly cool. I would spend hours just chatting with the computer. I could hardly believe that I was really chatting with a machine. And then from that point, it became an obsession. I did develop chatbots for AIM, AOL Instant Messenger, and ICQ, which are both messaging platforms that no longer exist. Um, but it wasn't until 2015 or so that I did my first enterprise chatbot. And that was very cool. I felt like I was cheating the system that I had found a way to get people to pay me to mess with chatbots.
That's awesome. I feel like you might have a bunch of like pet chatbots at home that you like interact with daily, just like like a little Tamagotchi chatbots that you're
Oh my gosh, I actually do. My favorite persona right now is Claude. He's so supportive. It's Anthropics, but just like every idea that I have is the best idea. Every joke that I tell is so funny. He probably is not really helping to prepare me for the real world, but I do appreciate the abject supportiveness.
That's awesome. We all need an inner cheerleader sometimes, right? You're like, if
Yep,
I need
yep,
to bring it out through technology, oh, it's
definitely.
fantastic. Oh, I love that chatbots really were the genesis of your interest in tech, never mind AI. And I know you've worked on some really cool projects more recently than that. Can you tell us about some of the coolest projects your favorite projects in AI so far?
Ooh, so the original chatbot that I did at an enterprise level was just a basic ticketing system integration. And that was really fun because everyone hates ticketing systems. I've never in my life heard anyone say, wow, that was such a good experience. I really loved the ticketing.
Writing tips.
Yeah. No, nobody likes it. Nobody wants to do it. If you're having to do it, it's because something has already gone wrong. Most people that are interacting with it don't do it on a regular basis, so it's all out of their wheelhouse. It was really nice to be able to provide that conversational avenue for them to get the information that they needed to do their jobs. Um, that was very cool. After that, we moved on to a chatbot that was called Acrobot, the acronym chatbot. Um, in financial services, we have quite a few acronyms that are very specific to functions, even from one department to the next. The same acronym could stand for many different things. So it really helped to get everyone on the same page and speaking the same language.
Oh, I bet. So it was just like a you could put in you could ask it what an acronym meant,
Yep,
and it would like clarify for you.
yep. And
It is very handy.
if it did not know, it provided an avenue for you to tell us what it meant. And then if there was a definition, we also had feedback so that the user could tell us whether we were right or whether we were wrong. And when possible, we would link to an intranet page or a subject matter expert that could tell the person more about it. And then eventually we even connected to the Wikipedia API. So if it was not just internal, people could find that information on the open web. That was really rewarding.
Yeah, I anything where you're actually like making like the web accessible to people by voice, I think that's always been something that like it's finally happening now with Claude and ChatGPT, but for a long time we kind of understood, oh man, if I could just talk and bring up the whole wealth of information at my fingertips from the web, like that's a it's a really big vision. It's very hard to do, as I'm sure you're well aware.
It is. I think of the home assistants, and I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you. But I do think that Alexa is by far the most advanced that I have used. I have an Echo, I have a Google Home. I don't really mess that much with Siri or Cortana or any of the others that are bundled with their technology, but
So
Alexa,
even with your love of chatbots, the home assistants aren't scratching that itch for you. That's interesting.
yeah, Alexa
Do you
is
think
the closest.
do you think is it the voice thing versus typing, or is it just something like you like special purpose chatbots?
Hmm, she's very customizable. So I like being able to integrate the home automations. The interface is good. I have it at a rental property, so it was really easy for me to rope it off so that people wouldn't just order a bunch of dish detergent or whatever on my account. So I appreciated that. Um, yeah.
Yeah, they've done a lot of great integrations with that kind of thing. Like the use cases that they've examined where you're like you own a Airbnb and you want your customers to be able to use the Alexa. I feel like that's where like the general purpose piece was never really as useful as everyone wanted it to be, but specific use cases they managed to get some nail some pretty important ones.
The general use cases are pretty good too, though. I like how I don't know. A lot of the things that my Google Home Assistant is not able to do, Alexa has no problem with.
Interesting. Um, well, let's get back to your project. So you've worked on some chatbots. What other kinds of AI like integrations, automations, chatbots have you had the joy of working on?
We did a really cool one that tackled ticket routing. So initial tickets that were being created were just kind of all going into one bucket. And we used machine learning to understand better the intents of people that were contacting support and then routing, creating the appropriate ticket, routing it to the right group that could resolve it. And in doing that, we were able to really reduce our average handle time for those tickets from weeks to hours. It was
Isn't it
really
crazy?
significant.
Where the productivity gains, especially when you're combining automation with this stuff, right? It's really stunning. What did you find the toughest when you're introducing AI to a new system?
I think it's the definitions and getting the common lexicon with the people that you're talking to. One of the biggest challenges that I've seen in working with technology as a product owner is that a lot of us feel that we understand technology very well because we use and interact with technology quite a bit. And I think that there, especially in technology companies, there's a big Dunning-Kruger effect because people want to think that we really understand what's going on behind the scenes. Um, and a lot of us just don't. So taking that step back to make sure that everyone has the common understanding seems in some cases to be unnecessary, but I found it to be really helpful.
I think so. People won't buy into something they either are afraid of or don't understand, right? And there's a lot of fear out there right now. Fantastic. Well, we've also been chatting about some of the possibilities for AI, and I know we were talking about some of the works that things you were looking at working on with Autism Speaks. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the possibilities you're looking into there?
Yes, I would love to. I'm really excited to say that I've been asked to join the Executive Leadership Council for our local in Atlanta chapter of Autism Speaks. And we've started brainstorming about some things that we could do with digital assistants. And then this has also crossed over into some other conversations that I've had with people just in the AI space. A lot of companies are looking at how AI can really understand sentiment based on what people's faces are doing. And I'm interested in how that really would differ for people that are neurodivergent because we don't necessarily have the same facial cues representing an emotion. We don't necessarily pick up on the same things. So I'm wondering, I guess, both from a server and a client side, how is that awareness of people's minds working differently going to change the way this technology works? And I'm really heartened to see that it is something that a lot of people that are going forth and founding amazing technology companies do have top of mind. It's not something that people have failed to consider. It's something people are really excited about learning about.
Yeah, that's so exciting. I think it's such a cool possibility, and I think one of the big boons of AI is personalization. People often think of that as very expensive, especially if you're personalizing down to smaller groups. Those smaller groups have traditionally been ignored. And now we're like, oh, because this is becoming accessible, affordable, possible for a software company that isn't a Google, a Facebook to actually do and access that it's like, why not make more and more nicher products for that are really going to serve these needs. I love when things come with a real problem as opposed to just applying AI for no reason, right?
It is such an exciting question. I've had a few conversations with people that are looking specifically at mental health care and the question of how you can provide or use AI to augment an effective healthcare program for someone. And I was interested to learn that people do not want to speak to a therapist that doesn't look like them and that does not have the same cultural understandings that they have. So, for example, veterans strongly prefer to speak to therapists that have a um, military service background. Yeah, because they know much better what these folks are going through. Um, the endless customization. There are just so many cool possibilities.
Right? And really getting what we need for our own health and for engagement and interaction, right? Inclusion can come to a whole new level. That's super exciting. Well, obviously, you're very well versed in leading organizations through this transition into embracing AI, using AI and chatbots. How did you get here when you were starting out? Obviously, your chatbot journey started when you were a child, but in terms of artificial intelligence, let's call it the machine learning parts of it, etc. How did you get started?
My career in technology started when I became a technical support agent for an internet service provider. And I was really lucky that internet service provider is still around. Not really an ISP so much anymore. But they really gave me a lot of opportunities to explore different areas of the business that I was interested in helping. So I was able to work in network engineering. And then as a network engineer, I did what I consider to be my first automation role. And I was just like creating scripts for modem dialing banks to isolate uh, root causes of problems that we were able to detect with our telemetry software. So if you wonder why ISPs used to send CDs in the mail like a million years ago, it's because we wanted you to use the client so we could see what was going on with your connection and then figure out on the back end how we could improve that experience for you.
Oh, I remember the AOL online CDs in the mail all the time. Yep.
Yeah, wild.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh. And so you've gotten into technology that way. Do you remember your first experience with like machine learning applications?
Hmm. I It was actually much later. So I would consider machine learning to have happened, my introduction to machine. I would actually consider that my intro to machine learning came significantly after my introduction to artificial intelligence. Um, and again, and returning again to Dunning-Kruger, I have to admit that it was more complex than I initially expected that it would be. Um, but I had the chance to work with some really great people who were really well versed in machine learning, the capabilities and the possibilities, and really helped to keep me grounded.
Amazing, amazing. I find it so much people undervalue learning on the job just by being around, like being staying in the room when there's more not necessarily technical, but like conversations where you don't understand all of the words. Like being willing to stay there and actually sort of absorb it. The value of that over time, of being exposed to it, and the understanding you can glean from that. I'm always amazed how that comfort can develop over time and it's less scary.
That's very true. And again, returning to our theme of how it can be helpful to the neurodivergent, the way that we can have AI captioning and summarizing the conversations that we are having verbally is super helpful to people that have like a sensory processing delay, so that they can really fully absorb everything that they're hearing in conversations like that. I think we're just scratching the surface now with the capabilities that we're adding for ourselves.
Super, super exciting. Okay, final question. If you were to tell someone who's just starting out in AI, they're interested in the space, but they're kind of starting from zero, not they have a technical career, but no AI, what advice would you give them?
Find an interesting problem and then don't give up the first time someone tells you no. The first time someone tells you no, that is your cue to go back and come back with a slightly different solution, and just keep going back. If I were to tell myself as a younger technologist any piece of advice, that would be it. Don't stop at no. Find another way.
I love it. I love it. That's fantastic advice. I think tenacity is one of the most valuable skills you can have in this space. It's all about experimenting, trying, and trying again. Fantastic. Well, we only have time for one last segment, and I really want to make sure we get to it. Is plugs. So, Patty, do you have any plugs you want to give as part of this?
If you are working with intelligent automation or AI, and you would like to join a community of like-minded professionals, I invite you to check out the Vocal Council, which is voice of customer in the automation landscape.
Amazing
It,
organization.
that is also how I came to be introduced to Polly. Um, yeah, it's been fantastic. People share their experiences, are very generous with their time and ideas, and it is really like having a think tank of like 150 of the world's greatest AI and intelligent automation leaders available to you at all times.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent. We'll make sure that the link is in the show notes for folks who might want to join. And from my side, I'd love to plug we have an upcoming masterclass, The Path to AI Product Manager. If you're looking to understand the skills and knowledge you need to succeed and thrive as a leader in AI product management or AI leadership, please make sure to go to next week's masterclass. You can find out the details at aicareerboost.com. And as always, we want to shamelessly plug the show. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you love hearing stories like this of people's careers leading up to and now leveraging AI and how they found their path in this field. Do follow the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Give us a like, 5 stars. It really helps us spread the word. And do send us emails at support@aicareerboost.com if you have any suggestions for topics we should cover on the show. That is yet another episode of AI Product Leader. Thanks again so much for joining us, Patty, and we'll see you all in next week.
Thank you so much.